Hey guys, Jeff here. I've been having a blast with the wrecker there, pulling the Ford. Absolutely having a blast. This is the first time it's been off the track in a couple of weeks. I've been just having a ball with it. Got a few things coming up fun today. I was down to my last one. You know how we always use the screws for the T-jets? I was down to my last one, and I ordered some. I just want to show you guys the kind I get that replicate what Aurora had. The best that I've ever found are these Walthers, and they're self-tapping steel. They got the pan head, and they're 1/4 inch. They also make an 1/8 inch, which a lot of times I use for the back screw post. So I wanted to get some of those and share that information. Again, when you're down to one, you need to order some, and they're very, 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 very inexpensive. And the guy, I found them off of eBay, shipped them, and they were here within just a couple of days. Okay, got a GT Cobra, and the reason I got it is because, as advertised, it says it was unpainted. Well, it's unpainted now, and as far as the pictures that were displayed on eBay, I couldn't tell that it had any paint on it. So what the guy should have said originally was painted, had the accents, and now it doesn't, because now that I can actually see it, I can see that the headlights, you see how it's a little bit different color, a little bit darker. The vents there on top a little bit darker. So his pictures did not do this justice. Even the pipes on the side a little bit darker. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to put this in some Easy Off, get it cleaned up, and I do have a windshield. I do have a windshield for it. Yeah, I got a windshield right there for it. So I'll use that on it. But I was a little disappointed when I got it because I thought it was truly unpainted from the factory, not, hey, somebody stripped all the paint and accents off, you know. So anyways, I'm still gonna do have some fun with that. And I got a Chaparral recently, and the reason I got it, I've had green ones before, but you see the back there, there's no roll bar. The holes had been filled in by Aurora. Aurora sold this 2 different ways. They sold one with a roll bar, and you see a bunch of the Chaparrals with 2 holes sticking back there, then you gotta go get the roll bar. This one is like the, if I'm not mistaken, the later model, and they had the roll bar holes filled in. So this is going to be an easy project. I got to touch up the pipes just a little bit of black hair on there, and probably wash it. And I was just thinking about it. I mean, it looks good all around. I was just thinking about, though, probably put some of the VPR on it and get it really shiny, really nice, and we'll scrounge up a chassis for that one. Okay, when I got the windshield for the Cobra there, the gentleman online, he's on eBay. His handle on eBay is rather boring. He's the guy who started model motoring back in, I think, like the 90s. Harrison, I forget his last name. But what's interesting about the bodies and the heads that I got from him, when I first asked him about them, you know, I instant messaged him. I said, hey, listen, I know you got a lot of stuff for the T-jets, but do you have any drivers and the heads and stuff? And he had a little story. He said, you know, as small as they are, as easy as you think they'd be able to make, when he had these requisitioned to make, they sent him back some prototypes, and he looked at them, and he says, instead of, you know, looking like heads and faces, he says it looked like the driver had like little teardrop heads instead of, you know, like a proper looking head and face. So that project was on hold for a while. Now, when we talked about that, I don't know, a year plus ago, I needed some heads and bodies, and I couldn't find them. I didn't know who was making them. So I made, as you guys know, I made some videos on how to make the heads and bodies. You know, I just thought I could buy them. Can't buy them, so again, I'm gonna make them. I made them 20 years ago. I made them recently. And what's funny is since I made them, well, Harrison somehow found a way to get his projects done. And there's also a guy, after, again, I made them and showed everybody how to do it, there's a guy all over eBay selling the driver's heads and the bodies, and he's doing a superb job. What's interesting on both accounts, neither party pays me homage whatsoever. I darn well know if it wasn't for me doing it, we wouldn't be seeing these here right now. No question about it. No question about it. Another project we got going on today. Here's what's interesting, the trike. I did a couple videos on the trike, and really all you need to do to convert a Thunder Bike into a trike is this. That's it right there. A couple of hubs, the tires, and then you need to mount a gear on a axle. That's it. And what's interesting, my buddy Walter, he had made the trike. He made the trike. He did it. You know, he followed the video instructions. He did it, and he wanted to convert it back into a Thunder bike. And you can just take the axle out, put the old back axle in with the skinny tires and all that. So if you do the project and you do the trike and you want to convert it back, you can absolutely do that. Now, he was thanking me for the parts I gave him and whatnot, and he sent a couple things back. But Walter also did this. He sent some, I don't know if it's neoprene, rubber, I don't know what kind of material it is, but they're very thin washers, and he suggested that they might work on the back there. And they are. They're very pliable. They're very pliable. I don't know the dimensions. Just looking at them, they're probably same or similar. So again, we're going to take that back tire off and see if they work. If these tires work, I'm going to get in touch with my buddy Walter, find out where he got them from, the exact dimensions, and then we'll be able to place the rear back tires there with a washer instead of spending $20 for 2 tires on eBay, you know, new old stock tires. That gets expensive, guys. That gets expensive. So we've got some fun stuff coming up today. We're going to dive into it. Let's get started, guys. I misspoke just a bit ago. I know I said that these were 1/8 inch. They are not. They are 3/16, a smaller one. Again, the 1/4 inch ones are for the screw posts. They work real good, but a lot of times, again, I like using the 3/16 for the back screw post, especially like the Cheetah, anything that's got a real thin screw post area to work with. I like using those. All right, guys, just a sec. Okay, good. I got the screws on the magnet. The reason I do that is because I ain't gonna lose them that way. You know, they're there. They're always gonna stick to the magnet. I know where they're at. All right, first off, let's just go ahead and get the Cobra in some easy off and see if we can get it looking just a little bit better. If not, it's gonna stay that way. Okay, that's the easy off I use. I know there's one in a different color can, but that's the one I use. And I got the Cobra down at the bottom. I'm just gonna lightly cover it. Not going to let it set for too long. Just going to see what we can do. Maybe we'll get some of those darker stains out of there. All right, good. It's in there. I got it covered. Going to let it set for a bit. Next, we're going to go ahead and get the Cobra cleaned up, get all the dust off that thing, and then we'll go ahead and address the hair and the chrome on it. All right, very good. I just got out of the sink, and I'm getting ready to dry it off. Came out really good. Let me go ahead and get it dry. Was just getting the other underside of it clean dried. And I know I've said this a bunch, but guys, roll up a little bit of a paper towel and always wick down in both the screw posts. You're going to get some residual water out. The last thing you want to do is have some water in there, screw on the chassis, and then all of a sudden your screw gets all oxidized and rusty, and then it breaks the screw post when you try to get it out. All right. Now, coming out pretty good. You got it all dried up, and I just discovered it has an anomaly. There's a piece of flashing that wasn't removed from Aurora factory. I don't know why I didn't see it earlier. Now, everything looks good right now, doesn't it? Everything looks fine, but let me go ahead and turn it around. And yeah, you can see it right there. Look at that bugger. That is hanging down from the windshield. And I moved it. I could probably trim it off or something, but I kind of like the anomalies. I kind of like, hey, listen, you know, this is the one that got past the Inspector 5 or something, you know, they didn't get it. But that little piece of flashing should have come off at the factory there. Neat little find. Very good. Before I put the VRP on it, I'm going to touch the hair up. I've got a tester, black paint marker. And as far as touching up the pipes, I'm going to use the Molotov chrome paint. That works so good. And then we'll get the VRP on it, and then we will get a chassis. All right, very good. Just got the hair done. Let me go ahead and get the chrome on there with that Molotov pen. Tell you what, boy, I just touched the pipes up with the Molotov. Can't tell which ones I did or didn't. It looks so good. It looks so good. Okay, I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to let everything dry. I don't want to, touch the paint while it's wet. And while I'm putting the VRP on it. And in the meantime, I'm thinking about taking the Cobra back to the sink and getting it all washed up, cleaned up, see if the Easy Off has done its job yet. That is as good as it's going to get. I'm going to dry it off a little bit more, but one thing I'm looking at is, again, on the hood there, right in the hood, yeah, right there. That's a swirl that wasn't mixed well enough in the resin. Same thing on the door there. And sometimes it'll happen, you'll see that, and often if they have one imperfection like a swirl there, often there's another one. Okay, so let me go ahead and dry this off and we'll get the windshield installed. Just thinking about before I get after that windshield, I'm going to go ahead and use the VRP, the vinyl rubber plastic. That is one of the best products I've ever had to give you a high luster on plastic, vinyl, rubber, whatever you want. So we're going to do that first before I get the windshield installed. I did get a guide pin, a couple of screws, so we're all set. Let me get that VRP on here. Okay, I just shook the bottle real good, so let's go ahead and just splooge a little bit on. And you really don't need much. This is going to cover the whole body, guys. Just a little bit. That's all you need. That's all you need. And what I'm going to do is I got a little paper towel here. I'm just going to rub it in there and let it set for a bit. Oh boy, it is all gooped up now. I'm going to, again, just let it set for a bit. Got it rubbed in real good. So let's just let it set, and then when we take off the residuals, it's going to be all shiny and lustery. It's going to look good. Good, I got that set aside to dry. We're going to do the same thing as far as the VRP with the chaparral. I mean, it looks good now. I mean, the hood looks okay. It does, it really does. But let's just go and see if we can get that VRP on there and make it a little bit better. Got the VRP all over up. That's gooped up as well. Okay, so I'm just going to let those set for a bit, and we will get those polished up here after just a sec. Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to get some light on it for you guys, but the way I'm looking at it, look at the shine on the hood of the chaparral. The whole thing is like that now. Every bit of it's like that now. This looks like it rolled right out of the factory. Look at that thing. That is awesome. I can't say enough good about that VRP. It takes the plastic and puts such a shine on it when you get done rubbing it out. It looks so darn good. It really does. Really does. Okay, so I'm still needing to get the windshield on for the Cobra. Let's go ahead and do that next. I've done a number of the Cobra windshields in the past, and if you've ever done one, they literally snap in place. I don't know if I'm going to have to glue this or not, but when you get the back end in, and then the hole there where the front goes, it usually snaps in place, and it's usually very, very snug. So let me go ahead and check it out and see if we're going to have to glue that or not. Well, I just placed it right in there up against the back, and like I said, it just snapped right in, and it's pretty snug. It's pretty snug. And one thing I forgot to mention in the last segment there, before I put a windshield in like I just did, I take it in my shirt and I just buff it out, make sure to have any of my fingerprints on it before I install it. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna have to get another guide pin, a couple more screws, and we're gonna scrounge up some chassis. All right, good. Got a few more screws, an extra guide pin. Boy, those bodies look good. Just sitting there. Got a couple of chassis. I'm going to throw some oil on there. Not throw, but drop precisely some oil on there. And then we're going to get these buggers on the track. Just got the chassis on. Let me grab the transformer. One thing left to do, guys. One thing left to do. Let's get these buggers on the track. Good. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to have a hard time not sliding that into my collection. My first thought was, hey, listen, maybe I can get it nice and shined up and maybe re-eBay it. But again, I've always been wanting the one that doesn't have the roll bar there. And now that it's looking this darn good, I'm going to have a hard time, again, not slipping that bugger right into the collection. Good, let's see what the Cobra looks like. Yes, looks good. I'm still on the fence about this one. The ones that I do like to collect are the ones that truly had no accents or paint from Aurora whatsoever. More than likely this is probably going to go up on eBay, but as a full package. I got the windshield, I got the chassis, everything's running on it, everything's looking on it. And again, the way it was advertised to me is like, hey, if you want a clean slate to paint, this is going to be the one. So good, we got those done. Next up. I can't wait to get into these. For years and years and years, I had the Thunderbite that had the brittle tires, and then eBay comes along and you can find them, but they're $20 for two, and whatever the shipping is, now you're in $25 for two tires. If we can have, if these washers work as replacement back tires for eBay, we're going to be in business, guys. This is going to be absolutely wonderful. All right, let me go ahead and set the camera down, resituate, and we will get into it. Okay, the first thing you need to do to get after that back tire is to get it off the chassis, and it's fairly easy. Just get a screwdriver, lift up that little part there that holds the axle in, and it should come popping out. I need both hands, so just a sec. Came off real easy. Now let me tell you something. If these were not new old stock tires that I got on the back here and I replaced them, I don't know, a few months back, I would not be taking them off the rim because they'd be so brittle they would just, you know, crumble apart. But these are new old stock, so the rubber is very, very supple. Let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and get them off the rim, and then we're going to see, one, do these fit? Do they fit? And you know, I don't know about the inside diameter, and I don't know about the outside diameter, but we're going to give it a shot. Let me go ahead and get these existing tires off. Pretty same or similar. Pretty same or similar. Looks like the one on the left. That's one of the new ones. It's slightly larger in diameter. Just eyeballing it looks like. And the thickness of it is slightly thinner, and the rubber is very pliable. I don't know if this is going to work or not. Let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and put the first one on the back axle there and just see if it fits. Okay, good. I got it on. Went on fairly easy. I did see if there was any play, and it does slightly spin around the hub a little bit. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to affect the Thunder Bike when it's on. Let me do this. I'm going to grab another one and put the other side on. Then we'll go ahead and put the Thunder Bike back together. Well, I'll tell you what, they look good on there, don't they? They look good. They look real good. Okay, let me go ahead and put it on the back of the Thunder Bike. Just reinstalled on the Thunder Bike. Let me go ahead and get it on the track. See what we get, guys. All right, good. Got it on the track. Make sure I get my transformers. Yes, we do. Let's see what we get, guys. Okay, boy. Boy, flew off the track. Get that bugger back on. All right, well, so far, working real good. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, boy. I tell you what, that's one reason why I like the trike. I tell you what, that right there, you put the trike on, let's just go ahead and do it just for fun. Just for fun. See if we can get it to go around the track here. My gosh. You see that? I don't have to slow down for the turns. You know what? I don't have to slow down. Well, you do a little bit, but I don't have to baby it around the turns like you do when you have the Thunder Bike here. So listen, the back tires work good and they gripped real well. Pardon me, just trying to get it to stay on the track. That's another thing. That's another thing. But I'm going to talk to my buddy Walter and find out what size, where he got these, the inside diameter, the outside diameter, how thick they are and everything, because right now I'm going to give it a thumbs up as far as replacing the T-Jet tires, or the Thunder Bike tires, and having something that's supple, that's going to work. These seems like they're working. They seem like they're working. All right, guys. Oh, and the other thing out there, I got a boot. I actually ordered the wrong boot from Rather Boring there. I wanted a Galaxy, and I think I ordered the Sunlight or vice versa. I got the wrong boot. But anyways, I'll find some use for it. All right, guys. Hope you had fun. We had a good time this morning. And if you've got any questions, let me know. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps me out, guys. Share this content. All right, guys. Let me know if you need anything. See ya.